10 corners, 71 laps, no hiding places. Formula One heads to the Red Bull ring with Ferrari chasing a Hamilton-led title charge, Mercedes trying to stop the reliability alarms, and Red Bull desperate for a home race upgrade to save their season. Austria may be the shortest lap of the year, but it could give us the biggest answers yet. G'day F1 fans. Big one this week, upgrades, inter-team battles, most notably Antonelli and Russell, and of course Hamilton and Leclerc. Mick, you're enjoying the European summer right now. You've already complained to me it's mighty hot where you are, but I think this race is going to be an absolute stonker with plenty of questions answered.
Yeah, man, I don't know what it is, but every time I come to Europe, there's always a heat wave. So, I don't know. Every time I come, man, it's always hot. And it is certainly going to be hot this weekend. Like you said, man, there's going to be plenty of talking points. We've got the Ferrari, possible engine upgrades. Is that going to make Hamilton a genuine title contender? The Russell-Antonelli saga continues, and that will definitely be one to watch. But I am interested to see how Red Bull go this weekend as well.
We've already mentioned it's going to be very hot. We're probably going to be looking at very similar to conditions to what we had out in Barcelona last time. Air temp around 30 to 32 degrees. So we're probably looking at track temps up to 50 if there's not much cloud cover. And based on last year, it was a multi-stop, two-stop race, compound C3, C4, C5. So on the soft end of the spectrum. So expect another multi-stop race again this weekend. Quick one before we get started. If you can help us out on our road to 1,000 subs, if you do like the content, hit us with a like, hit us with a sub. It will help the channel out greatly. Now, getting stuck into it, we have to go by the current constructors' leaders, looking at points, and that is clearly Mercedes. Antonelli leading the championship. Big one this weekend. They're looking over their shoulder with what Ferrari produced last time out in Barcelona. But I guess the big talking point around the Mercedes garage is the issue they have with the battery. It seems to be they have an overheating issue, and that has been the core of a lot of their reliability issues so far this season.
Obviously, you would imagine with the hotter temperatures, you'll see similar something to Spain where they'll run extra cooling. But if it becomes a constant issue, then it becomes like you're going to have to change something. And that may be you might not be able to package the bodywork so tight around the power unit. Kimi Antonelli, man, he's despite the retirement he had last time out, technically he still beat George Russell, right? He made the pass on track, and I think that hurt George. We saw in Spain, right? He dominated pretty much all weekend until the race. The tyre degradation at this circuit is completely different to what we saw in Barcelona. So, because at the end of the day, it was the tyres that hurt him, right? He just couldn't keep the tyres
just to jump in there was the issue with the tooling on the front wing. So when he came for his final pit stop, and they wanted to make a change on the front wing, the tool didn't work properly, and apparently it threw the settings out.
Yeah, it throws the balance out.
So his car was way out of balance, and which does check out, because if you look at his final stint, he was way off the pace.
Yeah, but Kimi, after the first stop, Kimi was still quicker. Like he said, he could have made that pass after that first stop, but was told just to stay patient. I think Kimi's going to get the better of him this weekend again.
It's a big one for George, and it will be interesting to see how these guys fight as well, because with the known issue with the battery, it seems to be that if they are following too close, seems to be the issue. So if you look out, I think in Canada, they were fighting pretty hard, and then that's when they had the issue. And then last time out, again, fighting very hard, close together, and again, another issue. So they may have to be a little bit more patient, give themselves a bit more space on track to make sure they keep the heating under control. But Toto Wolff has come out. He's clearly stated with what's happening on the reliability side, it's not good enough. Yeah. And if Mercedes want to be fighting for championships, they need to keep these cars on track.
Yeah, I read somewhere they've left something like 43 points on the table just from the reliability issues.
Take out Barcelona, everyone's perception of Mercedes was absolute dominance. But when you're looking at the actual Constructors' Championship, Ferrari's within striking distance.
Yeah, Ferrari, man, are nipping at their heels now and possibly could have a better car. I think we'll get into Ferrari, but, if Ferrari are pushing them, they can't just sit back and cruise.
Ferrari. Now, there's a lot of excitement around a title bid, but the name that everyone is throwing around is Lewis Hamilton, which is probably a bit disrespectful at this present time to Charles Leclerc because we know how quick he is.
Yeah.
But the A duo, they've got the first of their 2 engine upgrades coming for Austria. So what are they netting here? Potentially, the reports seem to be around 15 horsepower.
Yeah, so it's around 15 horsepower, 10 on the power unit side or internal combustion side. Then I think, is it Shell, the fuel supplier, is waiting for the go-ahead. There's supposedly 5 horsepower there in the fuel.
So like a new mixture.
Yeah. They're going to be close, man, eh? They're going to be close. And I think you look at the circuit layout, is it like that middle and last sector? That's going to be Ferrari because that's where the downforce and the medium speed corners are. I feel like the Lewis thing, man, is like, it's now become like an underdog story.
It has.
Everyone's just like, yeah, I'm the underdog. It's Lewis. It's Lewis.
It's crazy to think that a 7-time world champion
is now the underdog, eh?
Is now an underdog. When Lewis gets a sniff, he's dangerous. That's what's made him so damn good over all these years, right? You don't win, 106 Grand Prix, 7 championships without having a bit of dog in you. But I get the feeling this could be that turning point race of the season. This is one of those potential pivotal moments where we get to Abu Dhabi or, once we've crowned potentially a new champion, that was the turning point for this team.
Yeah, well, it feels like this turning point has been building. So what you'd say Canada, then Monaco, then Barcelona was like the peak.
3 podiums in a row for Hamilton, yeah.
Yeah, and now Austria is going to be the confirmation.
Yeah.
So in saying that, I think it's a massive weekend for Charles. He cannot make one mistake this weekend. And that's shit to say, really, when you think about it. Like, don't make a mistake, Charles, because if you do, because if Hamilton gets another leg up, then the rumblings get louder, more pressure. So I think the pressure is clearly on Charles this weekend. The talk is all around Hamilton, but I don't think that's like a pressure for him.
No.
It's not like he has to go out and go, I've got to deliver because everyone says, like you said, he's a 7-time world champion, been there, done that before. So that kind of talk doesn't really affect him. Whereas Charles now, I think, is in a mental battle.
That hole could get deeper if he doesn't perform well here this weekend. Well, what's the point differential at the moment? It's around 40 points between the two. Sounds big on paper. Realistically, it's not. But
from what we've seen.
But coming into, look, we've got a double header. Austria, you've mentioned it in the last episode we did. We come into Silverstone. We know Hamilton's going to be mega there. So he needs to turn it around really quickly. Realistically, he needs to be nailing, Saturday, he's got to nail. He has to nail Saturday. Now, from a technical point of view, one of the interesting upgrades that Ferrari bought last time out in Barcelona was surrounding the wheel rims, the way they use the cooling. Now, that could have been a big factor in what we saw last time out in Barcelona because we had 50-degree track temps, 30-odd degree air temps. We're going to see very similar weather this weekend in Austria.
Yeah.
Do you think that is one of Ferrari's key advantages?
Yeah, I think it definitely helped. What do they call it? It was BBS Japan Spec. They've changed the inner design of the wheel rim, the way it dissipates the heat. Essentially what it does is it gives a more stable thermal...
Are we going above your pay grade again?
Yeah, going above my pay grade again. But essentially what it does is it gives the tyre more stability throughout a stint. So it can control the tyre temps, I think, a lot more efficient. Throughout a stint, your tyre stays a lot more consistent.
Consistency. Yeah, more consistent.
That's the word, more consistent.
Which I think will be quite an interesting factor going into Austria just due to similar weather what we had at Barcelona. Now, if you want to delve deeper into that whole wheel setup, because it is a bit technical, the race did do a good video on it.
Yep.
So if that does pique your technical interest, because some of these technical things are above our pay grade, go and check that out. All right, moving on. Third in the Constructors' Championship, McLaren. Look, for me this weekend, it's from the inter-team battle. We want to see our home, I was about to call him the homeboy,
Yeah.
Oscar Piastri, sort of just reverse the form a little bit. He doesn't seem to be quite at his best. I don't think there's any major specific upgrades that are coming, but you would expect them to have refined or come up with some refinements. What do you think of their chances this week?
I think we might see something a little bit similar to Barcelona. They're there, but they're not quite there yet. I keep saying it, since Miami, Lando's been on another level compared to Oscar. Whether that's... Well, Lando's clearly happier with the car than Oscar is. But, yeah, he needs to stop that trend and on pure pace, get ahead of Lando this weekend.
Well, they'll hope to repeat their performance of 2025. It was a 1-2, Lando getting the win, Oscar Piastri in second place.
Key word, hope.
There is a lot of hope.
I think they're going to need a lot of hope. There's been a lot of races this year that they won last year that they're not going to win this year. So
that is true. That is
hope
true.
Hope is all you need.
Hope is all you need sometimes. I also am going to keep a keen eye on the merch and the team wear they bring this week, because I kind of feel like they.
Oh yeah, you're not happy that they're carrying on with the 1,000. You feel raw. Lazy. They're just lazy.
Clearly, it's a massive issue for me. Coming out with your 1,000th Grand Prix with all the special kit, livery, and then just wearing it again the following week for your 1,000th of one Grand Prix. To me, it doesn't make sense.
Maybe
so
they were struggling to sell the merch, so they needed to keep it.
Yeah, maybe just some cost cutting.
Yeah, well, yeah, maybe.
Budgeting. Red Bull home race. Now, Mekis has come out and said that they are bringing some, you could say taking a bit of weight off the car, but he doesn't expect it.
Loss.
Yeah, a bit of fat loss, trimming a bit of the fat, but Mekis doesn't expect it to make too much of a difference, or at least put them in the conversation of, you could say, the top two teams.
They're probably hoping that it might bring them closer to McLaren. Like you said, Mekis, we trimmed a bit of fat, but we don't believe it's going to be enough to close, because that gap is still 3-4 tenths to the top two. Maybe drink some Red Bull. Red Bull gives you wings. We know Max will have wings here this weekend. He's going to be super, super fast. Home crowd advantage, you would say. Isaac, I think Isaac's just got to keep doing what he's doing. The only thing that's going to hurt Red Bull is it's going to be super hot, and their tyres don't like hot temperatures. It'll be the same as always. Max will come out on Friday. It's terrible, undrivable. What's going on with the downshifts? And then come out on Saturday and maybe put in a performance.
Yeah, he will put in a performance. He'll drag as much as he can out of the car, no doubt. It'll be cool to see when we do get a lot of Max fans here, they definitely paint some of those stands orange. And hopefully they're still allowed the flares, because when they let off was it last year they tried to ban the flares? I can't remember. But the orange flares in Austria have been epic over the last few seasons.
Do you think the upgrades are going to bring them closer?
Hard to know, really, because Mekis, look, if you're a team boss and you talk about bringing out upgrades, clearly you want to step back a little bit and temper expectations on them.
Yeah.
Like, he might be quietly confident that, we've trimmed a lot of fat off and this car's going to be quite decent.
Yeah. Well, you were speaking of temper expectations. Now you mention it's probably a really big weekend for Red Bull, because you mentioned it in the previous video, Max having the meeting with the big wigs. Apparently, he's got the clause where if he's not second, he can leave halfway through the season, and they basically wanted him to commit, and wouldn't commit. So they need to show Max this weekend, I think, that the upgrade development is going in the right direction.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I guess the other big key point for Red Bull this week is from the A duo perspective, seeing Ferrari get their first upgrade. They will be, I think, very intrigued to see how much extra performance that does bring, this first upgrade.
Yeah.
Because knowing that they are seen as the gold standard, even though they're not too happy about that,
Yeah.
there's a lot of conjecture around the testing and all that, but that'll be another debate. But that will be an interesting little snippet to see where or how much progression Ferrari can actually make from the internal combustion side based on the A duo. All right, Alpine, best of the rest. Their battle is, can they stay there in P5? Looking at the Constructors' Championship, they have a small lead over Racing Bulls. No clear upgrades as of yet, but just want to be very clear. Sometimes you don't hear about upgrades until quite late into the week. So even up until what, Thursday? I think when the official
Thursday,
documents
Friday,
come out.
even before free practice one.
Plenty of things that can change. I guess when we're looking at Alpine right now, it's still that team angle of Pierre Gasly and Franco Colapinto.
And I think at the moment, Franco looks the better of the two. Yes, Gasly had good result in Monaco and Barcelona. If he can back it up again this weekend, you'd say he's back to being the number one. Again, we want consistency from Colapinto. Just back up your good weekends. So we didn't get that in Monaco after Canada. You went to Barcelona. You had a stonker apart from your penalty. Back it up again this weekend, and you'll be sweet.
Possible double points finish yet again, because it was a double points finish last time out.
Yeah, but what they need to do is make sure they get Friday right. They can't come out on Friday like they did in Barcelona and be terrible and then rely on switching the car on overnight to be competitive, because Racing Bulls, man, are nipping at their heels.
Well, speaking of Racing Bulls, again, no clear reported upgrades coming this week. Great performance out last time. Well, from the points perspective in the championship, it was a double points result. Liam Lawson does go well around here. He had a good P6 result last year in 2025. I think they'll go pretty well here. Double points again. I think they're on. I think you could put some decent money on this team to get double points.
Yeah,
what
man.
Do you think?
Honestly, I think same again. Rinse and repeat. That car's fast, dude. Permain came out the other week and said, we've managed to sort out some of the deficiencies, especially I think it was mainly high speed. But that car's fast, man. It's quick in a straight line. It seems to be really hard to pass. What I do like is Lindblad is super close with Lawson, and when you've got two drivers so close, the level just keeps going up and up and up, which then pushes the team to make sure the developments are good, and just that team just continues to push forward, man. And like I said, they're on the heels of Alpine, so if Alpine slip up, they're going to be there to pounce.
Let's hope another big one for Liam, because if I'm looking, I think we had 7 feature races this year. He's been in the points for all of them, bar one, if I'm correct. So hopefully the trend continues. The trend is your friend.
Yeah, man.
The trend is your friend. Now, Haas, one of the Ferrari customer teams. Now, based on, I believe, the rule book regarding around A duo, if an engine manufacturer like Ferrari gets the upgrade, they have to instantly offer it to the customer teams. So Haas will be looking forward to that. Now, you have lamented Haas over the last few race weekends regarding the upgrades that they have bought. You feel like they've taken a massive step back. Again, this weekend is going to be another big one just on that angle, but also Ocon, he's running out of time. Summer break is coming quick. He needs some good results.
Haas, they fixed anything. I don't think they have. I think they're in struggle street. I think Ocon is swimming upstream. I think he's cooked. There's the reports of Fornaroli. I can't remember his first name.
Is he a Luca Fornaroli?
Luca Fornaroli? It sounds familiar. Anyway, Fornaroli, Haas have confirmed that they're doing a previous car test because Fornaroli is trying to get into Formula One. His path is blocked at McLaren because McLaren clearly have two great drivers that they won't want to get rid of. So he's offered his services to Haas. Haas are going to do a test. That just heaps more pressure on Ocon to perform. Ollie's killing him in every aspect. Their car is not where it needs to be. They have gone backwards since they brought the upgrades to Canada, and I think that is going to continue.
Fornaroli fans, before we get slated in the comments, it is not Luca, it is Leonardo.
Leonardo, well, we knew it started with an L.
Yes, we're pretty close. Give us that. Yeah, Haas is an interesting prospect for what they do next year because, okay, we know the Ferrari connection through the engine supplier as being the engine supplier. Behrman, clearly a Ferrari junior. There's Kamara that's doing very well in F2, where there's been a lot of talk about him coming into Haas, but also the Toyota angle. So the Japanese side, there's been rumors of Yuki Tsunoda maybe going over there. So let's see, that'll be one to look. But going back to the upgrades that you mentioned, Behrman did come out publicly and he said since they've bolted these new upgrades on, it feels like they've been chasing the tail. It's they're just struggling to unlock the package. So Haas, get it right. They tend to go all right around here. So let's see if they can back up some of their past performances. Williams, you could probably be pretty quick about. Have they trimmed the fat? Have they trimmed enough fat off the car? It's the inter-team battle. Yeah, Team Ozempic. Sainz versus Albon.
Well, look, I think it's a rinse and repeat again. I think Sainz is going to get the better of Albon. Albon needs to stop the right. He's clearly has not been happy from day dot with this car. They need to show improvement, I think, because Sainz, he's come out and publicly said much longer is he willing to wait to win again. You know, we know James Vowles is keen to keep both of them, and so he should, because I think both of them are great for that team. And especially Sainz, I like the way Sainz talks. He's never satisfied, keeps pushing forward. But if they don't show improvement by the summer break, what does Sainz do? So,
yeah,
I think
he's off contract this year, right?
Yeah, him and Albon.
Yeah,
Sainz would probably be more hot property than maybe Albon. And that's no diss on Albon.
Sure.
Like, we love Albon. I think Albon's mad and he's a great little race car driver. But I think Sainz would probably be more in demand.
Oh, 100%.
If they're not careful, I think Sainz's head might easily be turned.
Yes, that is true. I think with the silly season coming up, summer break, rumours will definitely start to... well, if Williams keeps struggling over these next few races...
They've got their big package, weight loss package coming around the summer break too anyway, right? So
yeah, I believe so. But they need it.
At the end of the day, they've just got to show Sainz that what they're doing is making them more competitive and bringing him back to where he was at the end of last season.
Team that has potentially missed out on some good points over the course of the season, that is Audi. They're pretty slippery in a straight line. They tend to have the top end, the speed. Do you think top end matters a lot here, though? There are a couple of long straights. I mean, it is pretty good to be slippery down those.
Yeah.
But it really doesn't matter if the reliability's not there, right?
This is it, right? And they're on the Audi looking in, so I'm on fire today, man.
Did you just say they're on the Audi looking in?
Yeah. Terrible.
Oh, mate.
How good. That's what happens when you have breakfast. Your brain's just on fire, right?
Yeah. You need to stay in Europe more often, mate. It must be the clean air, the sunshine, being out of aircon, because that's the problem here. You're constantly in aircon. I think it just dries your brain out.
Yeah. So, that's the thing, right? If both cars need to stay on track, you've just got to sort your reliability out. Like you said, they're slipping in a straight line. They've got a pretty decent chassis there. There's a potential there for double points for sure.
I think on pace, yeah, but the issue is going to be purely reliability. Gabby, back on your steed.
Yeah.
For Saturday, mate. Back on the steed.
Back on the
Now,
steed.
talking about getting back on the horse, I think this one is more getting back on the tractor. Aston Martin, it's clear the big upgrade package isn't due until the Belgian Grand Prix. So I think realistically expect much the same. I think for them, it's damage limitation, double DNF last time out. Get the mileage on the board, boys.
It's just a test session, another test session.
Cadillac will be interesting this week because of the Ferrari engine in the back. They should be getting a nice little boost, as we've previously mentioned. Big upgrades are apparently coming to Cadillac this week. Now, again, team principal has come out, tempered expectation. It's not going to push them straight into that midfield fight. But in relation to Aston Martin, what can they do?
Nothing, another test session. Simple. Go through the processes, make sure your correlation's right. We've seen so far what they've brought in terms of upgrades has worked and definitely found more performance, and I think it's just rinse and repeat for them.
Hopefully the brakes work properly this week. It's been a feature of the car lately, but I'm sure the big brains over there can get into it. Well, I think that pretty much sums it up team to team as we do in the preview, but we have to get on to our predictions. If my memory serves me correct, yours truly is up 5-4. The Oracle so far this season, to be honest, it's been pretty poor overall. Who's the guy that is going to get pole for you, and what is the podium prediction this week?
I want to say Kimi Antonelli gets pole, race winner. I think Kimi Antonelli, Lewis Hamilton on the podium. It's going to be tight, man, between George and Charles. I'm going to go Charles.
Oh, there you go. So Kimi to win, Lewis second, and Charles. Okay. All right, my pole guy is this weekend, I think, is going to be George Russell. I still think he's pretty confident from Barcelona. He's looking good. And the top three, I'm going to go with George Russell, Charles Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton.
Yep, I'll take that.
So we'll see how that goes. Clearly, we haven't been too good lately, but it is going to be, I think it's going to be a really exciting race, just looking at where Ferrari stacks up, where the inter-team battle stacks up. It's going to be a good one. Let's finish it up there, mate. I think we've covered pretty much all. How about I just leave you straight away with the final thoughts, and you can get and go and enjoy your holiday, the man of leisure.
Well, you pretty much mentioned it, man. I think we're going to find out if Ferrari's the real deal and if the 8-time world champion.
Slash. Wait for the slash.
No, I'm not putting the slash in. No, that's it.
Oh,
We've had people in the comments. He was robbed. I agree. It is what it is. I'm calling him the 8-time world champion.
Oh,
but let's see if he is a real deal and he is in with a shot with his 8th world title, and just how close are Red Bull after trimming some fat off that big old girl. The battle between Russell and Kimi Antonelli. That's going to be spicy, but like you said, man, in the beginning of the show, the shortest lap of the season, but will give us the biggest answers so far. So until then, we will catch you in the next one.
Catch up.